What if I told you the things you think you want, your job, your ideal partner, even the life you're chasing, might not be yours at all? What if your desires were borrowed? See, most people spend their whole life chasing things that they never truly satisfy them. They jump from one career to the next, one relationship to the next, always hoping this one will finally make them feel fulfilled. But here's the truth that no one tells you. You really don't choose your desires. You inherit them. What's going on? Back at it again. All right, in this video, we're going to talk about something that affects us all, but most people never really think about it directly. Desire. Yeah, what you want, pretty much. But not in some surface level, what kind of car you want to drive kind of way, I'm talking about that deep stuff, what you want out of life, who you want to become, what path you want to follow, and obviously, more importantly, how do you even figure that out? All right, let's get into it. See, mankind is the only creature on this planet that doesn't know what to desire. I mean, think about it. Animals, they got it easy. They're hungry, they eat. They're cold, they found warmth. No confusion, no overthinking. Straight up all instinct. But us, we got this whole abstract world of wants and dreams and goals, etc., but no internal GPS. No built-in radar to say, hey, this is what you should want. That's why so many people chase the wrong things. Fame, money, approval. Most of the time, stuff that doesn't even really seem important, but leaves them feeling empty. Here's where it gets really interesting though. Desire isn't random. It's not even really yours if you think about it. It's more imitated. We learn what we want by looking at others. I mean, just think about it. From the moment you were born, you're surrounded by models, your parents, friends, teachers, celebrities, and currently modern time influencers. They show you sometimes without meaning to what's desirable. They'll show you sometimes without even meaning to what's quote unquote desirable. And this doesn't stop when we become adults. It goes way underground. Very subtle. Very hard to see. But it doesn't stop. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day chasing a life that isn't even yours. So, how do we fix that? Well, not all desires are created equal. As I stated earlier, there are surface level desires, and for lack of better words, the more foundational desires. These surface level desires is more like, like that feather from Forrest Gump, comes through on a windy day and then just goes away. Poof, gone. These are more of those trendy wants, the fleeting stuff, You ever get those thoughts like one day you wanted to be a YouTuber, next day a startup founder, and then a real estate mogul. You saw someone doing it and now you want to. But it doesn't stick because it wasn't rooted. It wasn't foundational. Kind of like your foundational desires. Though they're built like layers of rock, they form slowly over time, shaped by people who really mattered in your life. Parent, mentor, childhood hero. They connect to who you really are. Truth, beauty, meaning, dignity. Every human being has them. The real key is learning how to tell the difference. All right, let me give you an example. Careers. So many people pick careers based on the surface level desires I was just talking about. They saw someone successful, rich, respected, and thought, hey, that looks good, I'll do that. Then in 5 years, they burn out. Can't stay in their job, this, that, and the third. So they pivot. Then they pivot again, and again, and again. Eventually, they look back and realize they never actually really even chose that path in the first place. They were just following the models, mimicking, reacting. Sound familiar? This is why in my future videos, you're definitely going to hear me say, don't date this type, don't pursue that path. People will obviously criticize me for it, but they'll miss the point. Life is overwhelming because there are so many options. Knowing what you want is hard, I do have to admit. But knowing what you don't want, off top, that's easier. And when you eliminate what doesn't work, what's wrong for you, what's shallow or destructive, then that's when clarity starts to emerge. That's the power of that negative choice that you need to get rid of. I know y'all seen it before. People in their 30s and 40s still bouncing around, never choosing, just floating. Kind of like a jellyfish, getting pushed by every current. And maybe you feel like that's sometimes drifting, unfocused, going with the flow. But deep down, you know, you're just being passive. And I'm telling you, time is slipping away. Don't let that be your story. When you're young, you got unlimited energy. You got the drive. But obviously, as you age, your strength will decline. It ain't a maybe, it's a fact. So if you keep postponing that decision of what truly matters to you, what you really want, you'll make it even harder to get it, especially when you get older. I mean, come on, we all been there. You know, after high school, maybe you go to college or whatever, and you start to drift, meaning, you know, at least during my generation, went to the clubs a lot, partied, raving, all that. I mean, you do travel and everything, get into certain jobs, just, you know, you gotta make that money. But off top, if I'm really being honest, it was mostly a waste of time. Well, at least partly. Which I'll get into another video about that. But because I was just doing what seemed like the smart thing to do, not what I actually wanted. I didn't know what I wanted. I hadn't taken the time to sit down and actually listen to myself and really break it down what I wanted out of life. All right, so with all that said, this is what I recommend. Start by eliminating the noise, the surface level desires, the stuff that's currently trending and hollow. Pay attention, look for those patterns. Think back on the times when you felt deeply fulfilled, alive, when you're doing something that actually mattered. Write those down. 3, 4, 5 moments, chances are you'll see a pattern. And that pattern, that's your life whispering to you. This is real. This is what truly matters. I ain't trying to preach to you, but I just want you to think about it. Let it sink in. Don't rush to transformation. Don't chase clarity overnight. Just start by listening, eliminating what's false, what's reactive, and give yourself space for the real desires, that foundational desires. Because if you do that, you never know, something incredible might happen. You might tap into what you really truly desire, and then you be on the right path, and then you can build from there. All right, y'all. If this video hits you straight in the gut or gave you something to think about, do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. And look, there's actually a real person behind this avatar. So don't think I won't read every comment or don't appreciate every like that y'all do. And I want to hear from you, honestly. I actually do reply back. So until the next one, thank y'all. Peace.